It's a robotics and drone manufacturing startup right here in Abuja, Nigeria. I caught up with the software engineer behind it all. Take a look. In this factory on the outskirts of Abuja, an emerging industry is busy securing some of Africa's critical infrastructure. Terra Industries, co-founded by 23-year-old Maxwell Maduka and 22-year-old Nathan Nwachukwu, is building autonomous security systems powered by artificial intelligence and drones.
I've always been thinking, what is the best way to truly help industrialize Africa? And I've always believed that it comes down to the big three: security, energy, and food production. We wanted to begin with what I think is the common denominator holding the continent back. So we began building out autonomous systems to solve the security crisis in Africa.
This drones per year. Terra also says that it exports to 8 African countries, protecting critical infrastructure from gold mines to power plants.
2 illustrious sons of the Igbo race have conquered the world in robotic and drone engineering, which captures the attention of United States of America's conventional media. CNN are taking up the news. Their factory is sited in Abuja, where they are doing exploits, conquering the world in robotic and drone engineering, and eventually the Nigerian conventional media have not picked this young men in their early 20s conquering the world, challenging, even competing with Israel in that regard. Your take on this development and what that portends?
Wow, that's a great one, a wonderful one. But be that as it may, I am not surprised, because we've been at the forefront of breakthroughs, of landmarking, genius in science, in technology, and in business all over the world. This is not the first time an Igbo person is doing something spectacular in the world of science. We know it. Our own brother Philip Agbali from Anambra State, where I come from, is the inventor of the internet, an inventor of the fastest computer on earth. And this guy Philip is an inventor of top-notch security gadgets for America. And that's why he's seen as a god in America, and also seen as a security threat, because he has America in his palm, having produced for America top-notch security gadgets. There are Igbos who have conquered the Lego profession world over. An Igbo man is a chief judge and attorney general in Canada. An Igbo man is the best medical doctor in the US. Igbos are doing exploits in the American Army. Igbos are doing exploits in spacecraft engineering and manufacturing in America. You understand? All over the world, in the past, an Igbo man, young man from Owerri, Imo State, built a radio station just on a table. When it comes to technology, leave it for us. All we need is freedom to unleash ourselves. That's what I keep saying. That Igbos have physical cash and investments. And so our enemies keep pursuing us here and there, thinking they can steal those things from us. During the war, they made our properties abandoned property, took all of it. Salu Ojukwu, the first West African multi-billionaire, the father of Ikemba Nnewi, bought a greater portion of Lagos, and they took it from him. They seized our money in the bank at the end of the war and gave us 20 pounds each person, that we might go and die of hunger, infirmity, and in illiteracy. Now, but I keep telling them, the best thing that the Igbo man has is not these mansions he's building everywhere. It's not his multi-million naira cars. It's not his multi-billion naira investments here. The best thing that Igbo man has is his head. If you take everything away from the Igbo man, but you still leave his head upon his neck, you have only taken a bit of his time. Because as long as his head is standing on his neck, he will come back. That's why we are a threat. And that's why our enemies feel uncomfortable with our presence, because of what we have here. And so these young men in Abuja now have made me happy.
In their early 20s.
They have made me happy, but it's not strange. That is who we are. Very special set of people. African Jews, Israelites, living with the grace and in the grace of the Most High God, and in the covenant that Most High God had with Abraham, the head of God's family on earth. Now, why Igbo is a mystery is the God factor. How can a people like this survive? At the end of a pogrom, you seized everything they had. You seized their money, which runs into hundreds of millions of pounds in 1970, and gave them 20 pounds. How can a race survive like that and become an economic
Are you saying
machine?
if that has happened to the Yorubas,
they
wouldn't have survived?
No people will survive.
Or the Hausas?
Except the people with this God factor.
With the rings of war, with the tons of war, they are also being subjugated to the point of extinction. Yet, they are flourishing today.
You can't kill the Jew. God is with him. That's the bottom line. You can't kill the Jew. God is with you. Need to kill God to kill the Jew. You need to kill God to kill Igbos. You need to undo God to undo Igbos. You understand? And so these boys have done it again. Yes, they have made us proud again. But we know this is who we are. You understand? So when we hear things like this, it is an evidence we are still there. It is an evidence we are still alive. You understand? It is an evidence that we are unconquerable. You understand? But I have an advice for them. Relocate now. Relocate now. Relocate your company now to the east or to America. You cannot do this kind of thing in Abuja and be safe. It is not possible. So, I know that now you have done this, you will do even far more than this. And you need a safe place to unleash who you are. So, relocate now. The federal government of Nigeria, led by the Northerners, have done everything humanly possible for Innocent to bring his company, his factory to the north. And he said never. And it's there in Nnewi. So you are not in a safe place.
Why did they prefer the north over the east?
That is
These are the indigenous people of the east. Wouldn't they develop their own place?
They want us to remain their slaves. That is what they care. Born to rule. That is what they say they are. And therefore they are born to rule Igbos. But heaven knows how wrong they are. We have only one king, Jesus Christ. Elohi Israel is our king. We cannot be slave to anybody. You cannot enslave the sons of the king. You cannot enslave the daughters of the king. You cannot enslave the prince, the princes, the princesses. No, you cannot enslave them. We are sons and daughters of Elohi Israel, the King of kings and the Lord of lords. Therefore, what they are doing is minor. Now you can see the more they press us, the more the thing in us, the more that pressing triggers the thing in us. And you see boys in their early 20s doing all this. This is just what has been revealed. Igbos are doing mysterious things all over the world. Mysterious things. In science, in technology, in mathematics, in healthcare, in education, in everything.
Now they are being described as Nigerians of Igbo extraction. Why is Nigeria not treasured what they have? Why is the conventional media not carrying it?
And look at that.
Not singing the praise, not advertising it before the international communities, only to wait for
CNN,
a foreign, an American company to come. Conventional media to carry this, to support these people's innovative
it is a shame
inventions.
It is a shame on our local media. It is an evidence of that envy. Why not? Why must it be only them? Why not me? Why not we? Why not these people? Why must it be only Igbos every time? Igbo, 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 Igbo. They are threatened by that. And that's why wherever they see us, they join forces together to push us out. But the point is that no matter where you push us to, we will show you who we are in that place. So that is it. Obasanjo said something. He was talking to Buhari when Buhari was raging with all manner of threats against Igbos. Obasanjo said, you could not defeat these people when they were not ready. Now that they are ready, you think you can defeat them? You could not defeat these people here, and you push them and push them and push them and push them to outside world where their eyes have been opened, where they have gathered all manner of knowledge and they are equipped, highly equipped. Is it now that you think you can overcome them? So what they thought they would use to kill us has become a springboard for us to move on. I really thank God for those boys who has invented drones. I know they have more they can do. I know.
Now, these are just two people out of several millions, tens of millions of Biafran youths scattered the world over. Now, what can you say about the alleged enforced disappearances of the youths? You see, if these two individuals could leverage on their technological know-how to advance the cause of Africa and humanity, what happens to those who are being forcefully made to disappear?
Those who are doing that are those responsible for hold them down philosophy against the Igbo man. You understand? And that's why I have my advice to this young man is to relocate without any delay. Relocate to the east or relocate to America. For CNN to come all the way to spot them and has taken them to world media, America has picked it up immediately. America does not waste time. An Igbo young man, I've forgotten his name, traveled to America. After a while, he got a job. And each time he was going to his office, he missed his way. Each time he was going, he missed his way. And then he developed an app that would direct him to his office. And when he started using the app, he never missed his way again. Google saw that app and bought it for, was it $3 billion? I've forgotten. Billions of dollars. Google saw it and bought it. This ingenuity is not natural in us. When you see one, you think that is all. There are millions of others. So when you see these boys who have done this, there are millions of others. So I know that America has a plan for them now. Yes, America does have a plan for them.
What if they refuse whatever deal with America? Would they be considered as a threat or a rival?
They cannot refuse. Why? Philip Emeagwali said for him to invent the fastest computer on earth, he needed to put together 2,000 different computers. He said nobody could afford providing with that in Nigeria. So if you know you are talented, you need an environment, an enabling environment that will help you grow, that will help you unleash yourself. And such environment is not here. Nigeria is a talent-killing country.
But these ones have established their industrial facilities in America, and that is the largest robotic and drone engineering facility in the whole Africa, established by just two young, vibrant Igbo
in Abuja.
In Abuja.
Don't worry about that. They can relocate to America. If such geniuses get into America, trust America. Just trust America. America will give them everything. Philip Emeagwali has, if he doesn't have a security more than the president of America, America monitors him. America watches him. America has given Philip everything he wants.
But isn't that an indirect enslavement?
That is what the West is doing.
Brain drain.
That is what
Africa is being kept in the dark.
That is what the West is doing.
Using what they will use to develop Africa.
Oh yes.
And draining it down to America.
Because our leaders in Africa are idiots. They are there to steal money. They are not there to provide leadership. I keep saying it. I define leadership as the art that provides solution to every problem and answers to every question. And so if you are a leader, you should provide solution to every problem and answers to every question. And that is what America and Western leaders are doing. If you talk about corruption, yeah, but highly minimal, very, very minimal over there. But here, corruption is a monster. So, we don't have leaders in Africa, we have politicians. And politicians are not problem solvers. They play it for their own good, for their selfish interests. So, what the West is doing, capitalizing on that, is to take our best talents, give them everything they want, and they unleash their talents over there. They even give them green card, nationalize them there. And so these are people unleash their ingenuity there, live there, enjoy life, die there, and are buried there at the loss of Nigeria and Africa. So for me, the West is capitalizing on our stupidity to make life worth living for our people and to take for the good of the entire humanity the ingenuity that God deposited in us. So that's good. It is better to die a slave in America than to die a slave in Nigeria. Yes. You can't compare a dog in a poor man's house with a dog in a rich man's house. Someone says it's better to be a good man in heaven than to be a king in hellfire. You understand? So they have built their countries, made life worth living for their people. Over there, you don't bother yourself about food. You don't bother yourself about where the next meal is coming from. You don't bother yourself about education. You don't bother yourself about healthcare. You don't bother yourself about, where to live. These things have been conquered. So people over there can concentrate and use their natural deposit. They say that with all that man has been able to invent on earth or accomplish on earth, he has done that with only 10% of the human brain capacity. That the 90% of the human brain capacity is yet untapped. Little wonder God calls us God. You understand? He made us in his image and likeness. You understand? So we have so much upstairs that we need to tap. And you cannot tap that. No hungry man thinks rightly. No hungry man thinks rightly. The moment you're hungry, the next thing that is staring at you in the face is death. Because hunger brings death. And Bible says that those who die of swords die better death than those who die of hunger. Because those who die of hunger die painfully, slowly. So hunger is the worst thing you can do to anybody. And that is what we have here. In abundance. Yet in the midst of massive wealth. That can be enough for 10 different countries to survive and have good life. So here is a terrible place.
This landmark development was just less than 1 year. About 11 months now, they have been able to attract over $2 million, of course, a contract across Africans to manufacture drones for surveillance, for private use, for surveillance and monitoring of oil fields, mining area facilities, and of course for security reasons. You can imagine such a...
That's who we are. I say it again. That's who we are.
In less than 1 year.
But my problem now is security. It's not secure. Nigeria is not secure for certain kind of businesses, certain kinds of things. Their long-term security is not assured. It's not assured.
Are you citing from where they are coming from?
Yes.
Based on the sentiments,
Yes.
ethnic sentiments,
Yes.
and alignments and whatever.
Where they are is not the best place. They should go to a better place. And the best place for them is United States of America. If they're going to have a branch here, no problem. You understand? But the base should be in a safe place. United States of America. That is my take. That's my take. When you have such things, when you have such people, you treasure them. And you secure what you treasure. You understand? They need to be secure. It is geniuses like them that invented Ubuntu, that really helped us during the war. Geniuses like them. You understand? And the way Nigeria is going, these people are afraid that if another war breaks up, of course Obasanjo has told them, you can't handle these people. Nobody can handle Igbos in Nigeria. And I keep saying it. Then let them pray. Let them pray that another war should not happen. If it does happen, oh my God. We don't need any country to come. We only invite our people from our side. Both in the military, both in science, both in technology, both in military armament and everything. And I'm sorry the war will not last for 6 months.